This is the world's first live, daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight with Al Ferguson.
This is a special broadcast of the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. We encourage you to watch on your home television by downloading the Happening Out Television Network, and you can see all of our programs.
It's time to queer up the news. This is the first ever LGBTQ+ news show broadcasting from the Eastern Mediterranean. Our nonprofit 501c3 travel club has partnered with Fort Lauderdale's Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church, to travel to this vital region of the world, including the 3 continents of Europe, Africa, and Asia.
Nearly 60 people from LGBTQ+ America have traveled with our news show to Egypt, Athens, Cyprus, Rhodes, Mykonos, Santorini, Turkey, and Israel. Just weeks before we left for our broadcast from 3 continents, the Israel-Gaza war broke out.
Queer News Tonight was scheduled to broadcast from Jerusalem, meaning that this LGBTQ+ news broadcast would broadcast back-to-back from Egypt's Giza pyramids, Israel's holy sites of all 3 major world religions, and Ephesus. We made some changes and hope to again broadcast from Israel in the future. Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ+ community. Our mission is to support the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community. We want to inform you and educate the key issues of our Black community, Latino, lesbians and queer women, trans, students, youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS, healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
Queer News Tonight is literally out of the closet and into the headlines. This evening we bring you the news of and a perspective representing the LGBTQ+ community.
Our community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Wednesday, November 8th, 2023.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Queer News Tonight. And look at where we're at. We're in this incredible, historic place. We're in Crete, baby, in the Greek Isles. Like, that just flows out of my mouth, Lexi. It's like, we're just in Crete. It's just me and Lexi Golza just hanging out in Crete. Just how, that's just how Queer News Tonight does it. Yeah. Well, we've been coming to you we were in Athens before, and now here we are in Crete, in the beautiful Greek Isles, and we are in Knossos. Yes. Right? The Knossos Palace. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right.
I was like, hypnosis.
We were trying to figure it out on the way here.
Kinesis. So, like, she was like, just think of K.
Yeah.
K.
Yeah.
K.
You got to say the K.
You got to say the K.
Not silent.
Folks, my name is Faye. What? And you guys know this beautiful girl next to me. Her name is Lexi Golza. She is a philanthropist. She is an ally. She is a mother. She is one of our good ones, okay? When it comes to LGBTQ+, any of your insurance needs, where do you need to go to?
Lexi goes to State Farm.
Yeah, there it is. Yes, and we are having a fabulous time. And today, like we said, we're coming to you from Crete and the Knossos Palace. So let's get queer news going.
All right.
Are we good?
We're ready.
All right, let's get this going. All right, your first headline is, let's begin by queering up religion. 44 bishops support allowing priests to be in same-sex marriages.
Wow.
Wash over
I
you,
know.
right?
For a second, I'm like, did I read that right? I don't think that's correct.
Right, right, and I wish it was more. Let's give you a couple of facts of what's going on with the story. All right, so 44 Church of England bishops issued a public statement this week saying that same-sex marriages should be allowed without delay, as in right now, as in immediately, okay? This endorsement is for priests to marry and conduct marriages, all right? Because, there's always still that priest that'll be like, I'm not going to do a same-sex marriage because, it's an abomination and all that kind of craziness. So last month, 12 bishops dissented on prayers for same-sex couples. Okay, that's big. Mm-hmm. And a statement said, quote, "We look forward to guidance being issued without delay that includes the removal of all restrictions on clergy entering same-sex civil marriages and on bishops ordaining and licensing such clergy, as well as granting permissions to officiate." Because I got to think that there's priests out there that maybe don't disagree and want to conduct these same-sex marriages, right? But are like, okay, I don't want to get in trouble or anything like that, right?
Yes, exactly. I think that happens all the time, right? So you have the church that gives guidance, and then you have the people actually on the ground carrying that out. And sometimes it's very fragmented. So I'm happy to hear this.
Right?
Yeah.
And, and let's talk about the restrictions. Like, what do they, okay, we know that depending on what you believe in, right? Okay, but when it comes to a priest or a reverend or anything like that, they're here for guidance, right? In my world, okay? So I go to Unity on the Bay, you know that. Right. My Reverend Juan Del Hierro, I love him. He is a gay man, married to another man. And I don't think that he could help me or guide me with my own marriage, with my own relationships and stuff like that if he hadn't gone through that or wasn't in that also. Do you agree?
That's such a valid point. I stop asking directions for people who've never been where you're going, right?
Imagine stop on the side of the road here in Crete. Hey, how do I get to Knossos Palace?
Yeah.
I just got here. You sure you don't know though? No, I mean, come on.
Exactly.
So bishops endorse LGBTQ plus community by saying, quote, in all of this, we long for the day when LGBTQIA plus people will know themselves to be unquestionably included in the life and all ministries of our church and the contributions of each one of us fully accepted and celebrated as simply the offering of a fellow Christian. End quote.
Absolutely.
That'd be a beautiful thing.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I mean, come on. It's like I don't want to start talking about the situation in Israel and stuff like that. But I mean, religion is the basis for so many wars.
It's true.
Driving
factor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We were at
religion and money.
Religion and money and
Right.
power.
Yes.
I mean, I love that these bishops stood up and said, all right, we need to move on. We need to evolve like the world is evolving.
That's right.
All right. So what else do we got going on, Miss Lexi?
Yeah. So next, Faye, let's queer up the world. So Malaysia requires emergency kill switch at concerts after the 1975 on-stage same-sex kiss. So there's a little confusion around this story, right? Tell me, Faye, what were you thinking?
No, because initially I'm reading the story and I'm like, Lexi, what happened in 1975? Like, I wasn't even born yet. Like, what's going on? And she's like, no, Mama, listen to this. And then she played the song of the artist. And I go, it's a band.
The 1975
Got
is
it.
a musical
And they're
group.
cool. They're a good group.
Yeah,
turning me on. They're on my Spotify now.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We love that. So let's talk a little bit more about what this story actually means, right? So Malaysia requires now that concerts stop, right? That's a kill switch.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason for this was that the British rock band, the 1975, not the year, the band, had a same-sex kiss on stage. And I missed that. I don't know how I missed it. I'm going to have to go back to YouTube and check it out if they haven't pulled it, right?
Right, if they haven't pulled it.
So this event, the same-sex kiss on stage, happened at Good Vibes Festival as members of the band blasted anti-LGBTQ laws. They are doing it right.
They really are. They're trying to.
Yeah. So the kiss had thunderous applause from everyone in the audience. So it wasn't a bad thing for the people who were there seeing it. And the band said on stage, quote, "I'm fucking furious, and that's not fair on you because you're not representative of your government, because you are young people, and I'm sure a lot of you are gay and progressive."
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine those kids, or whatever, those adults, whoever in that audience, seeing a same-sex kiss on stage, seeing themselves on stage.
Right.
And then knowing that the government wants none of that, wants you to see none of that.
Yeah. It's crazy because, we think about our local connection to that with the whole don't say gay thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see that happening here where they're supporting the youth, phenomenal. I love that. So a couple of other points about this story, Faye. So homosexuality for visitors is outlawed in the Muslim nation.
Okay, so we go into the Muslim nation. We are queer women.
Yeah.
We both have partners. We're not allowed to be with them sexually or anything.
Right.
While in Malaysia.
Yeah, it's against the law completely.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you are Muslim, Malaysia allows additional penalties up to capital punishment under Sharia law.
So if you're Muslim, there's more.
Yeah, there's always more.
So they could kill you, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yes.
That is crazy. So the reality is that they could start using these concerts as a way to even get folks in and then arrest them and criminalize them and, start taking LGBTQIA plus people off the streets. Think
really
about
good
that.
point.
That's scary shit.
Yeah.
But also this is stuff that I don't want the DeSantises of the world to figure out, Oh, okay. Kill switch. Let's have a kill switch at all prides because it's LGBTQ plus people.
Exactly.
And a kill switch. I started out in radio before I did TV, and we had we called it the dump button, right? And it was like it's an F word by mistake fell. You had a 3-second delay, right? So me and the other hosts, we're the only ones that had the power to hit it. And sometimes we had to hit it more times than we needed to, you know. But it was on our, it was on our and say, okay, yeah, that probably shouldn't go out. But for someone else to have access to that button,
that's right.
It's awful.
Yeah, it is awful. So what we learned in addition to that is that the music festival was then canceled and the 1975 completely banned from playing anywhere in the country, right? So again, it goes back to, I experienced several situations, I'm sure you did too, where there was dialogue after the Don't Say Gay bill came out that prides couldn't have drag queens.
Yes.
And so we all struggle in this space, right? So basically the kill switch, which is like the dump switch that you were talking about, cuts off all electricity. So think about that, especially at a night concert, right?
Outside.
The lights go out. Like, that sounds dangerous. Well, and that sounds more dangerous than two people of the same sex kissing on stage, right?
And
Yes.
LGBTQIA+, right? If something like that happens, what's the first thing we think of? Unfortunately, we think of something bad happening. There's some kind of attack on our community or something like that. That's what I would think of. Oof.
Yeah, it's a lot. So in addition, Malaysia Deputy Communications Minister Teo Ni Ching explained why, quote, to stop any unwanted incident, end quote.
Yeah, okay.
So, so it's like, oh, we don't want to cause any problems,
Just
right?
in case.
Yeah,
because,
just in case. You never know.
Two men kissing might just make you gay.
Right. Yeah. And obviously, that's the same tie back to our legislation in Florida, right? Because they always use the kids, right? They're always like, oh, protect our children, protect our children.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is there's no need for that.
No.
What our kids should be protected from is the lack of freedom of speech, right?
Wow.
So Malaysia government will now be doing artist background checks from now on. So imagine what that looks like. So they're reviewing your social media to see if you have any same-sex attraction.
Cardi B, I don't see you. Oh, yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. You ain't going anywhere near Malaysia anytime soon, mama.
That's right. That's right. So the government said, quote, during a performance, we will ensure the immigration department and police are at the venue, end quote. So it goes back to what you said about, they could bring people into a concert specifically for that reason because they've already got the police presence, right?
Yeah, no, that's, I'm not going to be visiting Malaysia anytime soon. But I mean, same-sex sexual activity, between two same-gender loving people against the law could be criminalized. Being trans is also not even looked upon as anything. You are being thrown in jail. In Malaysia, your sexy, amazing suits that you wear out, you would be also arrested and criminalized for that.
Yeah, good thing we're not going to Malaysia because I have 2 suits in my cabin. I'm ready to wear them.
All right. Well, and we love them, Lexi. So let's talk about some good stuff of where we're at. Okay. So Queer News Tonight, we're here with this historic broadcast at Crete's 6,000-year-old Knossos Palace. All right. That is where we're at, right? I got that. So there was 400 rooms, and there were 4 stories to this incredible place, among the other little subsidiary little parts, right? And then they had like this big, earthquake or something like, well, let me tell you a couple of things that happened, all right? Okay. So Knossos Palace is a Bronze Age archaeological site, okay? That is what is literally hugging me and Lexi right now, okay? It's a major center of the Minoan civilization, the oldest advanced civilization in Europe, 6,000 years old. Wow. Known for Greek myth of Theseus and the Minotaur, half man, half bull. Okay, it's the oldest part of the palace, and the oldest part of the palace, was built in 1900 BC.
So this is why we say Europe has all the history. And we just bang ours to the ground and we start over. So we don't have any.
I wish we could.
Yeah.
I wish we could start all over. This religious and administrative site was one of the world's largest at nearly 5 acres during the Bronze Age. It's huge, huge. Much of the palace was destroyed in 1600 BC by earthquake and tsunami tidal wave from the volcanic eruption in Santorini, one of the largest in the history on Earth. Crete is the largest and most populous of the Greek islands, and Crete is more than 3,000 square miles and has 650 miles of coastline. Yes. Yeah. And we are in Heraklion. I love that, Heraklion.
Yes. Named for Hercules.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
And the Nomadic Boy travel blog, right? They feature features Greek Stefan Orestes, one of the great LGBTQ travel bloggers. He writes about the gay features of Crete, and he says, with all of the bad stuff out there, let's talk about how Crete is an LGBTQ travel hotspot. Cosmopolitan, very gay friendly, lots of beaches, including including the nudist ones.
Yep.
Yes,
We need
nudist
those
ones,
in our
right?
community, right?
Yes, and tons of bars that welcome queer patrons. There are thousands of international travelers in Crete at any given time, so they thankfully bring their open-mindedness with them, end quote. So with that, we invite you to visit Crete as well. It is just a beautiful, wondrous, wondrous place. We're going to go exploring now.
That's today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show. If our community is important to you,
Share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV? We need your support.
if our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. Tune in daily on this historic queer news broadcast of the Eastern Mediterranean and 3 continents.
We will be broadcasting across Greece, Egypt, Cyprus, Turkey, and the Greek Isles. No queer news show has ever been done like this ever before. And that is exactly what Queer News Tonight is all about. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you good night.